Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. Welcome back to the full walkthrough in the Crew 2. So let's get started for having part 41 for the segment. We'll be continue on by having a rally raid discipline. We'll be continue on for... Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Hyperion-Blue-GT. Welcome back to the full walkthrough in the Crew 2. So let's get started for having 8 events to be on the rally raid discipline. We'll be continue on for the journey in part 41. So that means this will might have the filters will be get set up automatically before starting up a new segment. So things are about to get a little bit different after participate in the Switch rival event. So it looks like it's time to go over to take the rally raid event. We'll be going over to Northern California. For taking the first event, we'll be get started out to have any kinds of rally raid vehicles that I'll be using for only 5 vehicles. But that means Tucker Morgan will be doing the mentor, will be doing some explained details about the location on the track. So let's travel to and get some more earnings and everything will be going checkmark to be on the normal difficulty for the performance to be at 140 and save it until the ace difficulty will be coming in towards the top.
Be careful driving through the sequoias on this course. They're some of the grandest, oldest living things on Earth. And they will mess up your ride something good if you slam into one.
I agree, Tucker. Looks like this is going to be quite very good for having a perfect mentor. We'll be doing the drupal understanding of off-road racing. Now, maybe this one might have to switch the vehicle that I'll be going over to use the Proto Dune Buggy 2017. We'll be doing the first run. But good news, I have 5 rally raid vehicles to be chose, so that will be quite very good, especially for the Land Rover Defender Works V8 70 Edition is very brand new to the segment after participate from the previous Live Summit event. But it looks very good to be in the 2018 model, which is I've been purchasing for the bundle along with the Jaguar Hypercar and the McLaren F1. Alright, looks like this one might have a good preview look. Just gonna have to grab my buggy and get ready to roll. Just gonna have to rev up and get started before the gate opens. This is going to be a perfect weather out there, folks. Clear skies, and this will might have a perfect time trial. We'll be going in to be off the road. Let's do this. Looks like this is going to go and cross through onto the bridge. That's more like it. Okay, looks like this is going to be on the first checkpoint. Better have to dodge through the obstacles. This is going to be a most risky situation ever yet. Feels alive to be going in to be off the track. To be going in for the dirt. Just going to have to pass through, cross onto the roads, and going in onto the fields. Pack it up with the nitro. Second checkpoint clear. Now, this one might have to go over to the right direction. Okay, coming back in onto the forest. Better have to watch out for the trees. This one might save a lot of good RPM. Okay, just gonna turn left. Just gonna have to follow the directions whenever it comes in for the terrain. Perfect. Just take a good dodge on the trees. Moving on to the next checkpoint. It's getting closer. Just drive anywhere on any directions whenever you want. Okay, that was so close. Just gonna have to deal with the terrain. And right on schedule. 2 minutes and 34.480 seconds by reaching the finish line. That was a pretty excellent rally raid on California to be on the northern section. That means this one might have some common loot to be collected. Wow, look at this view. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good stop at Redwood Park. Maybe this one might have a good photo souvenir after this video is over. So let's go over to rally raid number 2. We'll be going in to be on the sand. So this is going to be on the Great Sand Dune. We'll be doing the most finest rally raid we'll be going over. But good thing this is going to be the most stopping point at Salt Lake City. But anyway, this is going to be the perfect spot out there whenever it comes in to be riding on the sands or doing some jumps with some extra speed with a nitro. But that was going to be quite doing extreme to be going in for the off-road. Now, maybe this is going to be the only options that any kinds of favorite rally raid vehicles that you've been always using it every time. Now, maybe this is going to be quite doing some finest pick. We'll be going for the second car. I'll be using with a Mercedes-Benz S-Class Rally Raid Edition, and that will might give a good pickup truck. We'll be going over to hit the sand. Okay, it looks like this is going to be an interesting event. And looks like we have some opponents. Wow! This is the perfect race for the rally raid vehicles. We'll be stepping in to be going on for the most excited race to be on the sand. So let's go for it. I've been waiting for this all day because taking a lot of time trial, we'll be doing some fast runs. But this is going to be the action moment out there, folks. Just gonna have to drive anywhere towards the checkpoint because this feels like test drive wide open on the off-road. This is gonna get a little bit wild when jumping in through the sandhills. Feels extreme. I totally got this one. Oh boy, this is going to be quite super impressive. Just going to have to follow the arrows we'll be guiding in. But what can I say? Driving for a rally raid and motorcycle was actually quite giving some good combination. Okay, let's grind it up and take some few jumps. Just gonna have to keep a little bit more grinding whenever it comes to do some power slide. Okay, looks like 65% on the progression. Going great, going well, going a lot of fast paces when taking a jump on the hills. Gonna hit the right. Feels the excitement for having a most rally raid to be going in for a race. Checkpoint clear. Finish line is up ahead. Oh boy. I should probably have to keep gliding in whenever it comes for the jump. Now, leaving the desert, And that one might have a one-way ticket towards the finish line for having a podium finish. Now that's an off-road racing will be taking a good extreme. Feels fast to be going in to hit the sand, to be taking some good expected high-speed jumps. But that was so fantastic. That was a pretty good event that everybody really want to go for it.
You've made a real mark in the off-road world. Not too many mountains left for you to climb. That takes real heart.
Much appreciate with your guidance, Tucker. This is going to be a pretty good understanding mentor just for everyone. That's 2 events down, only 6 more to go. But take a good look onto the track layout at the Great Sand Dune. What a beauty. Taking a lot of good terrains on the sand jumps is going to be quite taking some good grinding experience whenever it comes in for it. Feels like having a Dakar rally to be riding on the desert is going to be quite pretty good dominance to be ride to beat the heat. Now let's see, this one might have to go over to the mountain states. We'll be taking part in the Bajo trail for taking the dirt event. But it is quite very good to be going over to be on the Rocky Mountains. But this is the best place. We'll be doing a rally raid. We'll be quite taking some good skills to be going on the open. So let's travel to and get ready to go for a preparation until Tucker will giving us the important details about the place.
Look at this place. Nothing but rocks and sand as far as the eye can see. Going that far out in the wild, it's unbelievable.
Feel the wild on the Bajo Trail. That is going to be the only element of off-road racing. We'll have to go fast to feel the rush. Now let's proceed over to the starting grid. We'll get a good quick ready to go. So let's see how it turns out perfectly. We'll beat the time in 3 minutes and 33.650 seconds.
Everything you've got. We'll see if it's enough. No one can ask for more.
Looks like this is going to be the only exact spot out there. Just going to go on the right side to hit the checkpoint. Gonna have to pass through onto the cactus, but watch out for the rocks. Just gonna have to keep it exercise caution. Just do some braking position whenever you want. Okay. Feels suitable enough. Okay, just gonna get a little bit closer. Only 40% on the progression. There's the checkpoint. Going down the hill. Wow, that was so close. I just barely stepped on the rock. And here's the jump. Feels awesome. Feels awesome to be riding around on the open off-road. Now, let's see. Just gonna have to expand the mini-map. Just gonna have to go right. Just keep going. This is gonna be the only open spot out there for the most finest environment track. Just gonna have to steer left. Gonna have to do a power slide whenever I get the chance. There you go. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good definition of drifting goes on the off-road. Checkpoint clear. Now, this one might have to go over to the next view. What a fantastic place out there that everybody really wants to ride free to be exploring. Maybe it is going to be good to travel, but here's the finish line. Successful time complete, 2 minutes and 55.570 seconds. That one might have a good earnings, and Icon 324 has already made it on time. Okay, looks like the stock is full, and that one might have some other loot will be collected by the mailbox. Okay, it looks like Icon point has been earned. I'll make sure I'll have to apply it later on. So it looks like this is going to be quite good to be on the halfway point to be at hunting the pack from Motorplex for the hunt. But feels good to be having a good exact 50% position to be going in onto this spot. But it looks very fantastic when riding on the Bajo trail is going to be quite brilliant. Now let's go over to Roswell for having the Fort Rally Raid event. Maybe this is going to be good for having some better earnings and some more followers. But that one might have the only best recommend car will be going in for the dirt ride. We'll be using the Hummer H1 Evolution 1 Rally Raid. So maybe this one might have to travel to.
Wonder how it's possible to love nature and big engines at the same time. Well, it's a big country, and we like to find our way to the roughest, toughest corners of it. That means we need the roughest, toughest machines. And you don't get out there by thinking small, so think big.
Well, I will come up with a big ride, will might come in handy. So that means just gonna have to grab my Hummer H1 with the UDRS livery. Was gonna be quite good to be on the open off-road. But maybe this is gonna be good to have a performance level to be at 132. But it's all good. So I'll be willing to be participate with using the H1. So let's go over to the starting grid and have that good H1. We'll be going alpha. We'll be taking the most finest challenge.
Gotta admit, there's nothing I love more than this.
Good thing I just used my Hummer H1 Alpha to be in the version Type 1 Rally Raid, but it is also to be labeled as Evolution 1. The Evolution 2 of the Hummer H1 is going to be quite different with the hardtop version in it, so that is going to be quite good to have that kind of a good designed version. Luckily, I have a street race discipline was already purchased to be at the street racing headquarters. But it also to be right on the streets, but this one can dominate on the off-road. So that means just gonna have to go over to smash through on the obstacles to be embraced with nature. Okay, just gonna have to push through with some small trees and cactus. Going for a little extra boost. Feels like having a training exercise to be on the off-road. But good thing I just already got it on the livery editor. Is going to be quite doing some exercise training. Looks like I have already took the left side. Just gonna have to keep follow the trail. There you go. Perfect time to do a jump. Checkpoint clear. Moving on to the next area. Gonna take the right side. Pass through to the roads. Man, that was pretty close, and that was barely made a good power slide. Okay, looks like just gonna have to go left. One hot air balloon to be given the exact spot. Given the only landmarks to be remembered. All I can see is some animals roaming around. Just gonna have to make some few space we'll be going past through.
I can beat any pace you set.
Halfway there, folks. Looks like I'm about to be going over to the windmill power plant. Just gonna pass through. Gonna make that jump. This is gonna be a pretty good tour around. Almost there towards the finish line. This is it. This one might have one last push. We'll be going through onto the rivers. Oh man, that was a pretty good touchdown moment. That was a pretty good touchdown. I hope I could probably have to do that whenever it comes in for having an 8th difficulty. Final stretch, and here comes the finish line. But this event can probably take 5 minutes we'll have to overcome to beat its time record. And here I come, and this is going to be the best arrival. 4 minutes and 29.608 seconds. Now that's off-road wide open. Okay, very good with all that loot. Just gonna have to keep the loot distance away from me, so it'll be make sure to pick it up. So let's check on to the live map, and that was gonna be the only exact spot whenever it comes in to take that ramp until reaches in towards the platform to be on the rivers, and that is going to be quite very closer to be on the shores of the rivers. So yeah, that is going to be quite good for having a most longer jump to see it. It was very so close to be barely had the chance, but thank goodness I'm very lucky to have that good attempt moment. But I know it could be possible to be alternate to be using the bridge to be as the same route. So that's 4 down, 4 to go, and it's time to go over to Arch Park Trail. We'll be going in to be in a different location near at Santa Fe. So let's travel to and get ready to go for another rally raid event. My guess is this is going to be a rally raid race without having a time trial. I'll make sure I'll be keeping an eye out because this is going to be quite very excited, just like having the first rally raid to be on the sand.
3.
But that means it's about to go on the snow.
1.
Perfect timing, and that means time trial is now going in. So it looks like this is going to be good for this event to be on the snow condition. Clear weather and some snow is going to be quite good for taking some mixture of an environment. So I hope I could probably have to use the mini map to expand to see wherever I'm going. But it gets a little bit far, so I could probably have to follow the directions to be exploring around the nature. So it looks like I'm on the right track.
I suppose that ain't a bad run.
Well, everything is all good for now. Maybe it is going to be on the good run. Alright, just going to have to keep steering on the left. Maybe this might have a good sling down on the mountains to be on the Rockies. Okay, keep going. Take that left turn towards the checkpoint. We'll proceed. 50% on the halfway mark on the progression. There you go. This one might have a good sling drift. We'll keep gliding in. That's more like it. Just gonna have to keep going on the trail. I hope I could probably have to do a shortcut. Perfect run. Checkpoint down. Going on the left. Okay, I should probably have to stay on the trail. It's going to get a little bit rough on the tricky. That's more better. Safe route, less problem. That one might give a good time improvement. We'll be going off-road. Still got enough chance. Only 10% to go. Gonna have to pass by to the buffalo roaming around on the area. Alright, looks like record set 3 minutes 26.654 seconds. That was a pretty good run to be on the snow in the Rocky Mountains. But that one might give a halfway point to be at icon 325. So let's go back to be on the normal condition. This one's very good to be checked complete. Alright, next up, Red Rock for a rally raid. Maybe this is going to be good to be on the Red Rock Valley. It is going to be quite much possible to be going brilliant. So let's go in and switch to a different rally raid vehicle whenever it might give a good chance. So let's see, just gonna have to choose a better one. Just gonna have to use the Land Rover Defender Works V8 70 Edition. It's gonna be the only recommended vehicle we'll be doing this part of the segment. Okay, just gonna have to go in automatically and have that condition to be changed.
3.
This looks beautiful condition in Red Rock will be quite brilliant. So let's go fast and beat the time to go off-road.
You'll make awesome time, I know it.
I will. This one might have a perfect moment. We'll be going in for the jump. This looks super awesome. Taking a touchdown towards the trail. And that Land Rover is going to be the perfect ride. We'll be going in for having the most exploring journey in the US. Checkpoint clear on the first run. Now for the second checkpoint. This vehicle that I just purchased along with the bundle with the McLaren F1 and the Jaguar CX-75 concept as a hypercar. Well, maybe this is going to be good to have two hypercars to be purchased to be quite good for the event from the previous live summit known as Winter Agent. But good thing that you guys have already got your very own Porsche 911 Speedster as the Winter Agent edition. But it is super cool and awesome to have a nice hidden headlights besides the regular headlights. But it looks fancy, style, and beautiful with a ski attached onto the rear. But you deserved it, but I almost barely got that chance because I worked so hard to reach up towards the platinum. It's going to be a lot of required hard work. We'll be doing some performance parts, we'll be doing some upgrades with some affixes. But yeah, affixes is the only way to have a definition of a driving perk. Now it's going to get a little bit foggy out there in Red Rock. Going in onto the halfway mark, it's going to get a little bit missed. Just going to have to take it slow. Going to have to keep up the pace. Now going in for the right side. Watch out for the trees. Okay, cross through to the road. That's more like it. Just gonna reach up towards the next checkpoint, and that means the finish line is just up ahead. What can I say? This is a pretty good fastest lap time for 2 minutes and 38.131 seconds. That was very good. Just gonna have to pick up with some single loot to be collected until the rest will be sent over to the HQ by the mailbox.
So, look at you. You beat Wade and locked him out. I'll bet you're proud of yourself. And you should be. But remember, I'm still gonna be out there. You and me, we're gonna meet again.
Well, looks like this is gonna be the perfect moment out there whenever Lee and Tucker Morgan can race each other out again. But good thing I just finally remembered I just beat Wade out of the group, so maybe this will might have the understanding moment of off-road racing. Alright, so looks like this is going to be the 6th Rally Raid event to be completed. Wow, looks like this is going to be good to have a most finest Red Rock Valley to be quite going straightaways by the terrain. So let's see, this one might have 2 more to go. So next up, Yellowstone. That one might have another Rally Raid. We'll be going over to the mountain states to be up north. That one might have the only excellent spot out there. We'll be going in to take the off-road or the trails by the difference. Travel to and let's get prepared.
Here's the thing I love about Rally Raid. Everybody's got to find their own path. Your way, my way. They may not have anything in common, but we're all aiming for the same place. Kind of a metaphor for life, really. And while you think about that, I'll set the pace.
Everybody has to do their own ways for a Rally Raid off-road. Now that's a pretty good understanding moment. So let's switch back to a different Rally Raid vehicle. So I'll be using my Mercedes-Benz S-Class to be quite going in to take the most excited run. Just gonna have to charge up and be ready to roll. And move forward to the starting grid. We'll be at the ready.
3.
So let's beat the time and embrace the nature for having the most pickup truck. Will be going fast. Gonna have to keep going much carefully. We'll be doing the first turn. So, looks like this event will have to do it my way. This one might have a good correct answer. Okay, on second thought, just gonna have to keep trying whenever it comes for learning. Okay, just gonna have to keep going. Just gonna have to do any kinds of motives to do any directions. Okay, looks like just finally get the hang of it. Just gonna push through. Going right back in onto the forest, so I had to be avoided hitting the trees. Looks like this is going to be a pretty good sightseeing whenever it comes to visit Yellowstone. But it was the most finest landmark in the United States of America whenever it comes in to have the most famous geyser when every tourist really wants to take a good look for having some good entertainment. Just gonna have to cross through. Maybe I could probably have to get back onto the trail to take a switch. That's better. Gonna have to do it my way whenever it comes in to take two paths. Okay, on second thought, looks like this is gonna get a little bit far behind out there. Come on, just gonna have to go climb up, take that checkpoint. Maybe this one might have a good, perfect sense of direction. Okay, keep a little bit more exercise caution. It's gonna get a little bit downhill. Well, mostly, it's gonna get much of it. Okay, looks like still in one piece. That could be possible to be going over to get back on track. Okay folks, not a problem. Still try to catch up and the finish line is only just ahead. Just gonna have to push through. I've still got enough horsepower by the performance. Okay, here it comes. This is gonna get rough. Just gonna have to attempt recovery speed and going towards the finish line. How about that? That was a pretty good timing for over 4 minutes. But I mean, taking on for some tough terrains is going to get a little bit harder out there, folks. But make sure, try to do it properly, but it may get much reckless to be going situated by the intents. Okay, looks like 7 down, only 1 more to go. Looks like things are getting perfectly by the progress. So that means this will might have to take one last rally raid until it's about to be taking 100% complete. So let's go over to the live map again, and this is going to be pretty good on the trail. It's going to be going in from Yellowstone towards the Glacier Park to be nearby. Alright, now it's time to get ready to take on Tucker Morgan to take the last race for the rally raid to be at Portfoliage. That was going to be the most finest opportunity for having a one-on-one rally race. Will be quite going in to be on the off-road. But the uphill to be going in to be reached up towards the mountain is going to be going down the hill. But that was going to be a pretty good event cover for the most grizzly bear will be featured to be quite given a good spotlight. But yeah, it is also to be as a story event. So let's travel and get ready to go.
T-shirts are buy two, get one free for the next.
I'm glad you accepted my invite. I'm thinking maybe I read you wrong. What with you running with Wade? It seems like you're pretty decent folk. So I've got a proposition for you. A rally raid race, just you and me. And I promise, win or lose, what's waiting at the finish line is worth it.
This will be a perfect race for all of us, Tucker. This will be a very good perfect race whenever this one might have a good proposition. Now, let's see this one might have the perfect chance. We'll be going right back in to use my proto buggy again. Everything's all good. So let's do this and have a perfect one-on-one rally raid race.
Three, two, one.
All right, here I go. Let's do this. Tucker is in the lead by having a head start, so I'll make sure I'll have to drive anywhere by having a clean overtake. Looks like it's about to get snowy onto the mountains. Gonna have to be prepared.
That's some scenery, huh?
He's some talker, huh?
Some beautiful environment. That's more like it.
Watch yourself, this terrain is tricky. It's easy to get wrecked.
Yep, hope so. This is gonna get much exercise caution whenever it comes to the high mountains. Just gonna have to keep going. Make my way to be in the lead to take any directions to drive anywhere. I'll have to take the left side.
It's not the destination, it's the journey. Except in this race, it's both.
Careful, he's gonna want to stop the race to meditate.
I won't get interrupted. I'm just gonna have to try to make a good precision.
Now you're racing for real.
That's the spirit. Now this one is gonna get much tricky. Just gonna have to keep maintaining the pace and deal with the terrain. Okay, looks like everything is all cool, but especially the snowy terrain is going to be quite much cooler. Alright, looks like this is going to be the only perfect spot to do a jump. Might well enjoy it. Alright, here comes the finish line. This one might have to go extreme down the hill. Wow! The longest extreme jump.
See, I was wrong about you.
That's right. The only perfect driver has to embrace it with its own kind of ability.
Hell of a race there. Too bad Wade wasn't around to spoil it. I told you the finish was worth it. Was I right, or was I right?
Wow. Looks like this is the perfect finish line to see that nice view out there. Good news, Icon 325 has finally made it.
Now, I remember a couple years back, up in the Cascades, I hit a patch of scree and got totally turned around. We found this perfect little lake. It felt like no one had ever been there before. We race there now. It's the best thing in the world, cutting a trail like that. That's its own kind of magic. When you leave the road behind, you never know what you'll find.
I hear you and your new best friend ran off to play in the woods together. You want to waste your time and energy on a race that can't do you any good? Fine, whatever, it's your call. It's not going to put food on the table. And you best keep that in mind.
Well, I have already beat you, Wade. I know how it turns out to be quite surprising after the race ended. Well, that was a pretty good rally raid event, folks. 100% complete, and that means motocross, rallycross is coming up soon, so I'll be willing to make sure I'll be trying out with hovercrafts whenever I have to finishing up the progress on freestyle. So let's take a good look on the activities. Maybe this is going to be quite good for a while to have everything on the progression. 68% on the off-road, and that means this one might have a perfect match for rally raid. We'll be going check mark to be complete. I'll be willing to make sure that I'll be race again on hard and ace difficulty at any time. So next up, this one might have motocross, rallycross will be coming in at any time. So this one might have freestyle will be coming in to take the next part in part 42. But 50% on the demolition derby, 73% on the jet sprint, and monster truck to be at 63%. Skills and photo album, always gonna make sure to do some souvenirs and some scores to be needed up on it. But yeah, looks like I'll be willing to do some freestyle events. We'll be continuing on for the next walkthrough. Well, that was pretty fun out there, folks. Riding fast on the off-road is going to be quite taking a good chance to embrace it between the driver and the wild. Feels fun to be driving fast, to be on rally raid disciplines is going to be quite taking some tough challenges to be going in to take on the terrain. Few time trials and one rally raid to be at the desert, so I can probably wait, so I could probably have to come back at any time whenever it comes in to do some activities. So it was pretty good, and it's pretty awesome, and I mean, it is going to be quite super fantastic to do some jumps with some extreme skills, and probably the terrain will have to overcome it. Alright folks, I hope you really enjoyed watching the video. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, bell for notification uploads, and the links on the description down below if you want to see more. I'll be seeing you guys next time to continue the journey in the Crew 2, and I'll see you guys later. Keep on racing, stay clean.